الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا وحبيبنا وإمامنا وقدوتنا محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Respected brothers and sisters, welcome to our weekly class on explanation of Al-Muqaddimah Al-Ajurrimiyyah Al-Tuhfah Al-Sanniyyah by Sheikh Muhammad Muhyiddin Abdul Hamid Rahimahullah. And last week we started a new chapter which is about Al-Mansubat, and we looked at the Adadul Mansubat, the number of Mansubat wa Amthilatuha, and we looked at an example or two for each of the 15 different Mansubat. And today, bi'idhnillahi jalla wa ala, we are going to start looking at the first and hopefully also do the second. The aim is to cover the first two Mansubat in this chapter with the help of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Okay, so let me share the screen with you. Okay, so inshallah you can see that now. So we covered this. This is what we covered last week. Al-Mansubatu Khamsata Ashara. We did all this. We did some i'rab here near the end. Tayyib. Today we are going to start with the first one. Al-Maf'ulu Bihi. Everybody knows what is Maf'ulu Bihi. Obviously we are going to look at it in more detail today, inshallah. So, let's see what the Al-Muallif Ibn Ajurrum rahimahullah, he says, Babul Maf'ulu Bihi, the chapter of Maf'ulu Bihi. What is Maf'ulu Bihi? What's the definition? وهو الاسم المنسوب الذي يقع عليه الفعل. Now, so Al-Maf'ulu Bihi is what? It is an ism which is mansub الذي يقع عليه الفعل, which receives the action of the verb. It is a recipient of the action. نحو قولك, for example, when you say ضربت زيدا وركبت الفرس. So زيدا and al-farasa are both al-maf'ulu bihi. Zayd is the recipient of darb, hitting, and al-faras is the recipient of being rode upon or being ridden upon. So the action of riding, it falls upon the faras, the horse, and the action of hitting falls upon Zayd. Wa aqulu, the Sharih Shaykh Muhammad rahimahullah, he says, Al-maf'ulu bihi yutlaqu inda nahwiyina ala mastajma'a thalathata umurin. The al-maf'ulu bihi with the grammarians, it applies to that which combines between three matters. What are these three matters? They mentioned here, but let's look at them a bit more detail. Al-awwalu an yakuna isman, as I've mentioned, yes? It must be an ism. Maf'ulu bihi is always an ism. فَلَا يَكُونُ الْمَفْعُولُ بِهِ فِعْلًا وَلَا حَرْفًا. Maf'ulu bihi cannot be fi'l, nor it can be harf. وَالثَّانِي أَنْ يَكُونَ مَنْسُوبًا. Of course, al-maf'ulu bihi is always mansub. فَلَا يَكُونُ الْمَفْعُولُ بِهِ مَرْفُوعًا وَلَا مَجْرُورًا. Maf'ulu bihi is neither marfu' nor majroor. Okay. واضح. والثالث أن يكون فعل الفاعل قد وقع عليه, that the fi'l, the action of the fa'il, the doer, قد وقع عليه, it has fallen upon it, and it has happened to it. The action, the fi'l of the fa'il, قد وقع عليه, it has happened to it, it has fallen upon it. Okay, now what does that mean? So it has to have, you think about it carefully now. That's what he's going to explain here now. وَالْمُرَادُ بِوُقُوعِهِ عَلَيْهِ. What does it mean? What's the intent? What's the murad? What do we mean when we say that the fi'l of the fa'il, it falls upon the maf'ul bihi? What does that mean? It means ta'alluquhu bihi, that there is, that the fi'l of the fa'il is connected, there's a connection, a relationship between the two. There's a relationship and a connection between the fi'l and between the maf'ulun bihi. That's what it means. Why are we saying that? Because look, if you take the literal meaning, it's going to be problematic. Why? Because if you say that maf'ul bihi is where it is the recipient of the fi'l, the action, if you take it like the literal meaning, the physical literal meaning of that, it's going to be problematic. Why? Because now that's okay. If I say to you, ضربت زيدا, it's fine. And I hit Zaid, so the darb fell upon Zaid. That's cool. But now if I say ما ضربت زيدا, I did not hit Zaid. Now, did my hitting fall upon Zaid? Okay, yes, my hitting, I might have hit somebody else. I'm not negating that I did not hit anybody else. So I could have potentially hit other people. But have I hit Zaid? No. So my darb has not fallen upon Zaid. So here, what am I negating? I'm negating that I'm negating that I didn't hit Zaid. Yes? So here someone can say now, yeah, but you said maf'ulun bihi, it is when the maf'ulun bihi is the one that receives the action. It is a recipient. But you said ma darabtu Zaydan. This is a negation, not affirmation. So really, your darb, your action did not fall upon Zayd. We said, no, that's not the meaning. We don't mean it like that. What we mean is that there's a connection between the fi'l and the maf'ul bihi. This connection can either be in the affirmative, or it can be a negation. It can be in the form of an affirmation, the connection between the two, or it can be in the form of a negation. That's what it means. Now, that's what it means. So that's why he says here, وَالْمُرَادُ بِوُقُوعِهِ عَلَيْهِ تَعَلُّقُ بِهِ. Look here now. نعم. سواء أكان ذلك على جهة الثبوت, whether that is from the angle of affirmation. نحو, for example, فهمت درس, I understood the lesson. So now al-fahm, the dars is the recipient of the fahm, the understanding. It's happened. Affirmation. أم كان على جهة النفي, or it can be from the angle of negation. For example, I say لم أفهم الدرس, I did not understand the dars. Here there is still a connection between fahm, which is the action, and thus which is the maf'ulun bihi, but it is from the angle of negation. Okay, so inshallah that is clear. So that's the definition of al-maf'ulu bihi. Now we move on to the next part, which is anwa'ul maf'ulu bihi. Again, very simple, very easy, something you've done throughout this book and before as well. So inshallah there's nothing new there. So we're going to go through it quite quickly, inshallah. Okay. So anwa'ul maf'ulu bihi qal, he says, of course this is the author Ibn Ajurrumiyyah. Let's read what he says first. وهو قسمان, and maf'ul bihi is two types, ظاهر ومضمر. ظاهر ومضمر. مضمر yani damir, and ظاهر that which is not a damir. That's a normal noun, normal ism. فظاهر ما تقدم ذكره, as for ظاهر, that we were just spoken about it just now. We've given you a few examples. That's ظاهر. Yes, for example, when we said ضربت زيدا, this is a maf'ul bihi ظاهر. ركبت الفرس, this is مفعول به ظاهر. فهمت الدرس مفعول به ظاهر. لم أفهم الدرس مفعول به ظاهر. No? So that's done. Now we're going to focus on the mudmar. والمضمر قسماني, and mudmar itself, the second type of مفعول به, which is mudmar damir, that also is two types. As you know, we've done this in detail before, the different types of damirs. متصل ومنفصل. ضمير متصل, ضمير منفصل. فالمتصل 12. As for the muttasil, they are 12, as you know. Wahiya, what are they? Remember, we are talking about al-muttasil al-mansoob. We're not talking about muttasil marfu'. We're not talking muttasil majroor. Remember, damir muttasil can be marfu', mansoob, and majroor. As for damir munfasil, cannot be majroor, can only be marfu' or mansoob. But either way, here, when we're talking about the muttasil, we're talking about muttasil mansoob, of course, because maf'ul bihi. And we're talking about munfasil, we're talking about munfasil mansoob, again, because maf'ulun bihi. So that's why it says, فَالْمُتَّصِلُ إِثْنَا عَشَرَ, yani muttasil mansoob. وَهِيَ, what are they? ضَرَبَنِي I'm going to read it and then we're going to go back in detail, yeah? ضَرَبَنِي وَضَرَبَنَا. He hit me, he hit us. وَضَرَبَكَ وَضَرَبَكِ وَضَرَبَكُمَا وَضَرَبَكُمْ وَضَرَبَكُنَّ وَضَرَبَهُ وَضَرَبَهَا وَضَرَبَهُمَا وَضَرَبَهُمْ وَضَرَبَهُنَّ. والمنفصل 12, also منفصل منصوب 12. وهي, what are they? إياي وإيانا وإياك وإياك وإياكما وإياكم وإياكن وإياه وإياها وإياهما وإياهم وإياهن. Okay, we're going to look at this in more detail. وأقول, the Sharih says, ينقسم مفعول به إلى قسمين. مفعول به is of two types. الأول ظاهر, the first is ظاهر, والثاني المضمر. وقد عرفت أن ظاهر. Okay, this from here to here, we've discussed this in detail before. So I'm not going to repeat it in detail. Okay, I'm just going to go over it again quickly. Here is just telling you what's the difference between ظاهر and ضمير. And we've done that with examples. وقد عرفت, and you have learned, أن ظاهر ما يدل على معناه. الظاهر is that which conveys its meaning بدون احتياج إلى قرينة تكلم أو خطاب أو غيبة. without needing any qarina, without needing any contextual clue of what? Of takallum, yani speaker, or khitab, an addressee, a person being addressed, or ghaibah, or a third party reference. So for example, when we say the word Zayd, when we mention the ism Zayd, this is Zahir. When we say Zayd, then it refers to the one whose name that is. So the one whose name is Zayd, without any need for extra context or extra clues. Okay. So just saying Zayd on its own is enough to identify the person being referred to. We don't need any other clue of takallum or khitab or ghaiba. And look what it says about mudmar. وَأَنَّ الْمُضْمَرَ, as for mudmar damir, مَا لَا يَدُلُّ عَلَى مَعْنَهُ, it is something which does not convey its meaning. It's always going to be ambiguous. You're not going to know what the damir means, who the damir is referring to. إِلَّا بِقَرِينَةٍ مِّنْ هَذِهِ الْقَرَائِنِ الثَّلَاثِ, unless except by way of one of these three contextual clues. What are these three clues? Takallum, khitab, or ghaiba. You have to know who the speaker is, or you have to know khitab, who is the one being addressed, or ghaiba, who is the one being spoken about in his absence. Who is the one being spoken about in his absence? So that's what it is. Now, for example, I'll give you an example. I'll give you the ana. So if you have the damir ana written and it's there, who does ana refer to? You cannot know who ana refers to until somebody says ana. You have to see who is the speaker. So the one who says ana, then it refers to him. So you have to know who is saying it. Yes? You have to have the extra clue. Who is the speaker? If somebody else says ana, then we know who this ana is. It's the person who's saying ana. It's not me this time around. Yes? If I say ana, it's referring to me. If Zayd says ana, it's referring to Zayd, and so on and so forth. Okay? طيب. فمثال ظاهر, example ظاهر, ضرب محمد بكرا ويضرب خالد عمرا. بكرا and عمرا, they are مفعول به ظاهر. وقطف إسماعيل زهرة. Yes, يعني إسماعيل plucked a flower. مفعول به ظاهر. ويقطف إسماعيل زهرة, and إسماعيل is plucking a flower. مفعول به ظاهر. واضح. Now let's move on to the damirs. That's the main point of this section here. Okay. وَيَنْقَسِمُ الْمُضْمَرُ الْمَنْسُوبُ إِلَى قِسْمَيْنِ. And again, I'm not going to go over too much detail in terms of i'rab here. Why not? Because I've already done the i'rab for you of the damirs in detail and explained that to you before. يعني what they mean. Yes, what they mean, or how to the correct i'rab of them. Okay, so we're not going to go into too much detail about that. وينقسم المضمر المنسوب إلى قسمين. مضمر ضمير which is منسوب is of two types, as we said. الأول المتصل والثاني المنفصل. The first متصل والثالث منفصل. Okay. أما المتصل, as for المتصل, what's the definition of المتصل? فهو ما لا يبتدأ. Again, we've done this before as well, but let's repeat it. ما لا يبتدأ به الكلام ولا يصح وقوعه بعد إلا في الاختيار. That's the definition of متصل. ضمير المتصل. ما لا يبتدأ به الكلام. You cannot start the kalam with it. You cannot put it at the beginning. That's متصل because it's joined. It cannot. متصل means connected to something. So it cannot come at the beginning on its own. You can never start speech with ضمير متصل. So for example, let's take this example from here. This one here, ضربك. Look here. ضربك. So this kaf, this is ضمير متصل مبني الفتح في محل نصب مفعول به. Now, can we say ها ضربه? No. So you cannot start with ضمير متصل, okay? Also, nothing about ضمير متصل, the second part. ولا يصح وقوعه بعد إلا. You cannot put it after إلا. في الاختيار, يعني in normal speech, in standard usage. Of course, if there's darura, like the necessity of poetry, there are examples in which you find ضمير متصل after إلا. But that is because it's not normal standard usage. It's not in ikhtiyar. It's not when we have a choice. It's when we are kind of forced to do. It's darura to share. It's because of the share. Okay, so you cannot put it after illa. So for example, it's the same example again. Again, we've done this before. I cannot say ma daraba illa ka. He did not hit anybody except you. Can you say that? You can't. And as for munfasil, you can do both of these things. No problem. Munfasil, you can do both of these things. Darabaka, for example, the munfasil version of this would be yani iyaka. Yes. So we can put it at the front. We can say iyaka daraba. Like we say iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Iyaka daraba. No problem. You can also put it after illa in normal usage. You could say ma daraba illa iyaka. He did not hit anybody except you. Fine. Okay. And again, this is nothing new. We've done it before in detail. That's why I said وَأَمَّا الْمُنْفَصِلُ فَهُوَ مَا يُبْتَدَأُ بِهِ الْكَلَامُ is something you can start kalam with. وَيَصِحُّ وُقُوعُهُ بَعْدَ إِلَّا فِي الْإِخْتِيَارِ. And in standard usage, it is okay to put it after illa. Now, وَلِلْمُتَّصِلِ إِثْنَ عَشَرَ لَفْظًا. For muttasil is إِثْنَ عَشَرَ لَفْظًا, 12. Remember, we said that what are we doing? We are looking at al-muttasil al-mansub. Al-awwalu al-ya'u. First one is ya. وَهِيَ لِلْمُتَكَلِّمِ الْوَاحِدِ. Of course, it's for somebody. Again, we've done this before, so I'm going to rush through it. Yes, it's for mutakallim wahid. Speaker was one person. وَيَجِبُ Okay, listen to this very carefully now, yes? وَيَجِبُ, and we've done this before as well, and you know about this. وَيَجِبُ أَنْ يُفْصَلَ بَيْنَهَا وَبَيْنَ الْفِعْلِ بِنُونِ تُسَمَّى نُونَ الْوِقَايَةِ. You know نُون الْوِقَايَة, yes? That's what, exactly, there you go. وَيَجِبُ أَنْ يُفْصَلَ بَيْنَهَا وَبَيْنَ الْفِعْلِ. And it's a must that there be a separation between it, yani between this ya, وَبَيْنَ الْفِعْلِ, and between the fi'l, there be a separation between the two with a noon. And this noon is called noon al-wiqayah. For example, أطاعني محمد. أطاع فعل ماضي. محمد the فاعل. نون نون الوقاية. الياء ضمير متصل مبني السكون في محل نصب مفعول به. This is the ya. ويطيعني بكر. Same thing, but this is a فعل مضارع. Here it is. وأعطعني يا بكر. Same thing, but this is فعل الأمر. يا يعني أطع. أطعني. Yes, فعل الأمر. نون نون الوقاية. And الياء is the مفعول به. نعم. Okay, والثاني نا وهو المتكلم المعظم نفسه أو معه غيره. Again, we've done this before. What's نا is used for متكلم المعظم نفسه. It's for a متكلم who is exalting himself. Or معه غيره is for متكلم plural, who has someone else with him. That's the normal usage, yes? But معظم نفسه, like for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنَ تَنزِيلًا. Yes? We, Allah refers to himself as we, because Allah Azza wa Jal is exalting himself. Or sometimes like royalty, people in authority, they use such kind of thing, yes? Or ma'ahu ghayrahu, or when it's plural, me and somebody else, or me and two people, three people, or me and one other person. When there's plural, we can use na. Nahwu ata'ana abna'una. Our children have obeyed us. Ata'a fi'l madi. Abna'una fa'il. This na is the مفعول به ضمير متصل مبني السكون في محل نصب مفعول به. والثالث الكاف المفتوحة. The third one is الكاف, which is مفتوحة, the فتحة. وهي للمخاطب المفرد المذكر. And it's for مخاطب, someone you're addressing, مفرد مذكر. نحو أطاعك ابنك. أطاعك ابنك. Your son has obeyed you. Here you go. الكاف المفتوحة, كاف the فتحة on it. So this kaf is a مفعول به. والرابع الكاف المكسورة, كاف the kasra on it. وهي للمخاطبة المفردة المؤنثة. It's for a single female that you are addressing. نحو أطاعك ابنك. Your son has obeyed you. This is it. والخامس الكاف المتصل بها الميم والألف. الكاف which is with it ميم and alif. وهي للمثنى المخاطب مطلقا. It is for مثنى, two people who you're addressing مطلقا, whether they are مطلقا means any, whether in any situation, whether they are two men or two women or one woman or one man. نحو أطاعكما. أطاع فعل. And we've done the i'rab of this before. Yeah, the kaf, to make it easy, you can say kuma is the damir. And some grammarians do that to make life easy. Kuma is a damir. Damir, yes, which is muttasil. So you can say kuma ضمير متصل مبني على السكون في محل نصب مفعول به. Or you can do in detail like we've done before, which is correct. If you want to go into more detail, the kaf is the ضمير. As for ما is علامة تثنية. والسادس والكاف المتصل بها الميم وحدها. Al-kaf which only has a meme attached to it. وهي لجماعة الذكور المخاطبين, and this refers to a group of dhukur, men, males who you are addressing. نحو أطاعكم. Again, you could do the same thing. You could say kum itself is a damir. So kum mabila sukun, damirul muttasil mabila sukun fi mali nasb maf'ul bi. Or you can say I'll just kaf. Al-kaf damirul muttasil mabila dam fi mahali nasb maf'ul bi, wal mim alamatu jam'i dhukur. والسابع الكاف المتصل بها النون المشددة is a kaf which has with connected to a noon al-mushaddada. وهي لجماعة الإناث المخاطبات, and it is for a group of females that you are addressing. نحو أطاعكن. There you go. Again, kunna, it can be the damir, or the kaf can be the damir, and the noon can be alamat jam al-inath. We have done this before. والثامن الهاء المضمومة, الهاء with the dam on it. وهي للغائب المفرد مذكر. It is for someone who is غائب مفرد مذكر. نحو أطاعه. There it is. ضمير متصل مبني الضم في محل نصب مفعول به. والتاسع الهاء المتصل بالالف, الهاء which is alif connected to it. وهي للغائبة المفرد المؤنثة. It is for غائبة مفردة مؤنثة. نحو أطاعها. ضمير متصل مبني السكون في محل نصب مفعول به. والعاشر الهاء المتصل بها الميم والالف, الها which is connected to الميم والالف. وهي المثنى الغائب المطلقا, and that's for مثنى الغائب مطلقا. Again, 2 males, 2 females, 1 male, 1 female. نحو أطاعهما. Again, you can say huma is a damir, or you can just say who is a damir, and the ma is علامة تثنية. والحادية عشرة الهاء المتصل بها الميم وحدها, الها which is only a meme by itself attached to it. وهي لجماعة الذكور الغائبين, it is for a group of ذكور who are غائبين. نحو أطاعهم. Again, you can say hum is a damir, or you can say ha is a damir, a meme is علامة جمع الذكور. والثانية عشر الهاء المتصل بها النون المشددة, الهاء which is connected to النون المشددة. وهي لجماعة الإناث الغائبات, is referring to a group of females الغائبات that are not here, غائبات, absent. نحو أطاعهن. Again, هن can be the damir, ضمير المتصل ما بين الفتح في محل نصب مفعول به, or ha on its own. So you can say الهاء ضمير متصل ما بين الضم في محل نصب مفعول به, والنون علامة جمع الإناث. Now this is ضمير متصل. Finished. المنفصل. Again, remember we are speaking about منفصل المنصوب. وللمنفصل 12 لفظا أيضا, it also has 12 words. وهي what are the إيا. Yep, it's إيا مردفة بالياء للمتكلم وحده, أو نا للمعظم نفسه, أو مع غيره. Here, obviously, he's not going to go through all of them again, because he's saying what? At the end of the course says, وَلَا تَخْفَ عَلَيْكَ مَعْرِفَةُ الْبَاقِي. The rest of them is something which is not hidden to you, it's something known to you. That's why he didn't go into details like that, because they're known. They're here. All of them are here. The author also mentions them, and plus they're ma'ruf. Here they are. Iyaya, iyana, iyaka, all the to iyahunna. Nah? So he's not going to mention all the, he just mentions the first few, and then he says the rest should be clear to you. وَلَا تَخْفَ عَلَيْكَ مَعْرِفَةُ الْبَاقِي. So he says, iya. So one thing you have to understand, that in all of these, the damir, the al-munfasil al-mansub, like for example, iyahu, iyana, all these, it is only the iya which is the damir al-munfasil. This is the maf'ulun bihi. The iya is the maf'ulun bihi. Okay. Iya is the damir, and that is the maf'ulun bihi. As for ha, naam, or like iyaya or iyaka, so the has, that is basically called harfu ghaibah. These is called harfu takallum. They are harf. That is called harfu khitab. And it's a harf. It's mabni la mahal wa la amal. Okay, so whatever comes when you say iyaya, iyana, then you go to iyaka, iyaki, iyakuma, iyakum, iyakunna, iyahu, iyaha, iyahuma, iyahum, iyahunna. Only the iya is the damir, and that is the one which is maf'ulun bihi. As for the other words that come after it, they are huruf, they are mabni, and they are يعني لا محل ولا عمل. And if it's for ghaib, it's harf ghaibah. If it's for takallum, it's harf takallum. If for khitab, harf khitab. And that's what he says here. He's trying to make that clear. It is iya murdafatan. Iya followed by what? Bil ya'i lil mutakallim wahdahu. Either by ya, which is for mutakallim wahdahu, one mutakallim, like iyaya, iyaya. Or na, or it is followed by a na, which is for lil mu'addim nafsuhu, somebody who exhausts themselves, or ma'a ghayri, or is with somebody else. Or bil kafi, or it is followed, iya is followed by a kaf maftuhatan. Kaf which is maftuh, got fatha on it, yes? Naam. للمخاطب المفرد المذكر, and of course this is for مخاطب مفرد مذكر. كاف يعني إياك. The first one is إيايا, second one is إيانا, third one is إياك. This is for مخاطب مفرد مذكر. أو بالكاف مكسورة, or with the kaf with a kasr on it, or the iya is followed murdafatan, yes, followed with the kaf with a kasr on it, and this is of course going to be for للمخاطبة المفردة المؤنثة. So for example, iyaki, and that's why then the rest is not going to tell you, because the author has already mentioned them, and they are لا تخفى عليك معرفة الباقي. The rest are not hidden. That's why he says here, look here, what's sahih, what is the correct opinion? Of course, this is a difference of opinion. What I told you, for example, if I say iyaka is only iya the damir, or iyaka all of his damir, difference of opinion, yes, but the strongest opinion, the correct opinion is that iya is only the damir. That's why he says here, was sahihu anna damira huwa iya. That's it. Wa anna ma ba'dahu lawahiqu. This is wrong. It should not be lawahiqu, because this is mamnu min as-sarf. Wa anna ma ba'dahu lawahiqu. As for that things that come after it, yeah, they are lawahiq, they are extra things. Tadullu ala takallum. Either they point to the fact that to takallum, someone speaking, or khitab, someone being addressed. Someone speaking, yani iyana, iyaka, sorry, iyana, iyaya, or khitab, for example, iyaka, iyaki, or they point to al-ghaiba, إياه إياها. So for example, you say إياي أطاع التلاميذ. إياي, it is me that the talamid obeyed. Also here, remember I told you that you could put this at the beginning of the speech, yes? No problem. Damir munfasil, you can put at the beginning. وَمَا أَطَاعَ التَّلَامِيذُ إِلَّا إِيَّايَ. You can put it after إِلَّا. The talamid did not obey anyone except me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَمَرَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. So let's look at the i'rab of these two, this and this. Do that. This one will have the same i'rab as that. إِيَّايَ أَطَاعَ التَّلَامِيذُ إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ will have the same i'rab as that. And مَا أَطَاعَ التَّلَامِيذُ إِلَّا إِيَّايَ will have the same i'rab as أَمَرَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. Look at the first one. إِيَّايَ أَطَاعَ التَّلَامِيذُ. إِيَّايَ أَطَاعَ. Very easy i'rab really. تَلَامِيذُ. So what do you say about إِيَّا? Who would like to have a go? Anybody want to have a go at that? Or even in the chat you can write what is the i'rab of إِيَّا. Okay, Ilyas looks like wants to have a go. Okay, try Ilyas. I've unmuted you. Inshallah you should be able to speak. Nope, cannot hear you. Okay, let's try again. Okay, try now Ilyas, see if it works. Can anybody else hear Ilyas, or is it just me having the problem? Ilyas, are you speaking now or not? Or you can't unmute yourself? Oh. So yeah, should be straightforward. I mean, yeah is damirun munfasilun mabniyun ala sukuni. في محل نصب. Why في محل نصب? Because it is مفعول به مقدم. Is مفعول مقدم for what? لأطاع. So إياه, of course, أطاع is the fi'l, تلاميذ is the fa'il, and مفعول به has come before, so it's مقدم. So this is ضمير منفصل مبني على السكون في محل نصب مفعول به مقدم لأطاع. And the ya, as we said, is حرف تكلم مبني على فتح لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل. And أطاع, of course, is فعل ماض مبني على فتح لا محل من الإعراب. And تلاميذ, it is فاعل مرفوع وعلامة رفع ضم ظاهرة إلى آخره. واضح. Okay, what about the next one? ما أطاع التلاميذ إلا إياي. ما أطاع التلاميذ إلا إياي. ما, of course, حرف نفي مبني على السكون لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل. أطاع, we've just done it, فعل ماضي مبني على الفتح لا من الإعراب. تلاميذ, just done it, فاعل مرفوع ضمير إلى آخره. إلا, we're going to come to إلا بحرف استثناء. استثناء مبني على السكون لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل. And then إيا, this is the point here, ضمير منفصل, of course I said مبني على السكون, and of course في محل نصب مفعول به. Yes. Okay, here we don't say مفعول به مقدم. Why? Because it's not مقدم, it's in its original position after the fi'l and after the fa'il. It's here at the end. It's not مقدم. And yes, ضمير منفصل مبني على السكون في محل نصب مفعول به. And the ya is what we said here, same thing. حرف تكلم مبني على الفتح لا محل له من الإعراب ولا عمل. Okay, so that's the end of al-maf'ulu bihi. The second one is al-masdar. The second one is al-masdar, the second mansoob. From the mansubat is al-masdaru. Okay, Ibn Ajurrumiyyah rahimahullah, he says, Babul Masdari, chapter of Masdar. What is al-Masdar? What's the definition of Masdar? Wal ismul mansoob. It is ism which is mansoob. Alladhi yaji'u thalithan fi tasrif al-fi'l. When you're doing sarf, when you're doing sarf of a verb, it is the one that comes in the third position. Nahwu, for example, when you say daraba yadribu darban, this is it, it comes in the third position. This is the masdar. So what is the definition of masdar? Three things. Number one, it is ism. Number two is mansoob. Number three, it is the third one that comes when you're doing tasrif, doing sarf of a fi'l. Okay. أقول. So the Shari says, قد عرف المؤلف المصدر. The muallif, the author, he has defined a masdar as what? بأنه الذي يجيء ثالثا في تصريف الفعل. It is the third one that comes in the tasrif of the fi'l. ومعنى ذلك أنه لو قال لك قائل. And the meaning of this is that if somebody says to you, صرف ضرب, give me the sarf, give me the tasrif of the fi'l ضرب مثلا, for example, فإنك تذكر الماضي أولا. First you start with mention the ماضي. So you say ضرب ثم تجيء بالمضارع. Then you mention the مضارع. You say يضرب. ثم بالمصدر. Then you mention the مصدر ضربا. ضرب يضرب ضربا. نعم. قتل يقتل قتلا. ساعد يساعد مساعدة. درس يدرس تدريسا. استعان يستعين استعانة. But there is an issue here. What is the issue? The issue is masdar in itself, really it is not from the mansubat. Why? Because masdar sometimes can be mansoob. Sometimes the masdar can come as the fa'il. Sometimes masdar can come as maf'ul bihi. Sometimes masdar can come majroor with harf jar. Sometimes masdar can come as a mubtada. Sometimes the masdar can khabar. So the i'rab of a masdar will change. So really there's no benefit in speaking about masdar here, because that is not from the mansubat. And that's why he says here, what does he say? وَلَيْسَ الْغَرَضُ هَا هُنَا مَعْرِفَةَ الْمَصْدَرِ لِذَاتِهِ. The gharad, the objective here, is not to know about the masdar in and of itself. That's not the point here. وَإِنَّمَا الْغَرَضُ مَعْرِفَةُ الْمَفْعُولِ الْمُطْلَقِ. But the point here is to learn about al-maf'ul al-mutlaq. Because al-maf'ul al-mutlaq, that is from the mansubat. And maf'ul al-mutlaq is one type of masdar, because a masdar can sometimes be maf'ul al-mutlaq. Remember I said masdar can be different things. Masdar can be also be maf'ul mutlaq. So masdar is more general than maf'ul mutlaq. Maf'ul mutlaq is specific, it's one type of masdar. So maf'ul mutlaq is an ism, it is mansoob. And it is masdar. One type of masdar, yes, it's a masdar. So the point here is that every maf'ul mutlaq is going to be a masdar, because maf'ul mutlaq can be nothing but a masdar which is mansoob. That's maf'ul mutlaq. Maf'ul mutlaq cannot be anything except a masdar which is mansoob. So every maf'ul mutlaq is masdar, but not every masdar is maf'ul mutlaq, because some masdars are fa'il, some are maf'ul bihi, some are mubtada, some are khabar. So the point here really is not to learn about what is a masdar, and it's a third one when you do sarf. No. The point here is to learn about al-maf'ul al-mutlaq. For example, now if I say to you, you know the daraba yadribu darban, yes? Darb. ضربا. This is the masdar for ضرب يضرب. Now, I can say to you, أعجبني ضرب زيد. The darb of the Zayd, the striking of Zayd, Zayd's punch or Zayd's hitting, أعجبني, it amazed me. So here, أعجب is fi'l madi. Ya, we just did this now. We just did it, yes, in maf'ulun bihi. Ya is a maf'ulun bihi. Darbu is the fa'il. That is the thing that's amazing me. You see? So here, darb is a masdar, but is it maf'ul mutlaq? No. It's fa'il. No? Also, for example, I can say another example, I can say هذا جلوسك. Julus is the masdar for jalasa. Jalasa yajlisu julusan. But here julus is khabar. This is mubtada and this is khabar. Yes, it's a masdar, but it's not maf'ul mutlaq. But if I say jalastu julusan, now here julus, it is a masdar and maf'ul mutlaq. Yes, so that is the point. Okay. So that's what the author is saying. Yes, the author is kind of opposing. Sorry, the sharih is objecting to this definition of the author. No? Because he's saying the intent is maf'ul mutlaq, and despite that, you have given, you have explained it with the definition of the masdar, and masdar is more general than maf'ul mutlaq. So how can you say that? How can you restrict the masdar to just be maf'ul mutlaq? That's not the case. Masdar is more general, and maf'ul mutlaq is more specific. Yeah, so jalastu julusan yani I sat a sitting. We're going to learn a bit more about maf'ul mutlaq now, okay? So yani just to clarify, why would you say jalastu julusan? Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, wa kallama Allahu Musa taklima. Taklim is the masdar for kallama. Kallama takliman. This is maf'ul mutlaq. Maf'ul mutlaq is used for different reasons. One of them is for to emphasize and to confirm something that it is truly, it happens and it's a reality and it's true and really it happens. To emphasize it and to confirm it. Kallama Allahu Musa taklima. That's why the Asha'ira, they have difficulty now doing ta'wil of this ayah. because they're sick, and diseased, nasallallahu al-afi wa salama, they talk other rubbish around this, about this ayah, about the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's look at it again. وَلَيْسَ الْغَرَضُ هَا هُنَا مَعْرِفَةَ الْمَصْدَرِ ذَاتِهِ. The intent here is not to learn about the masdar. No. وَإِنَّمَا الْغَرَضُ مَعْرِفَةَ الْمَفْعُولِ الْمُطْلَقِ is to learn about مفعول مطلق. And what is وَهُوَ يَكُونُ مَصْدَرًا. And مفعول مطلق is a masdar. What's the definition of al-maf'ul al-mutlaq? What's the definition of maf'ul al-mutlaq? That's what we're going to look at now. Okay, what is the definition of maf'ul al-mutlaq? So it says here, look carefully, the definition of maf'ul al-mutlaq. وهو عبارة عن, يعني it basically means ما ليس خبرا مما دل على تأكيد عامله أو نوعه أو عدده. So مفعول مطلق, number one, ما ليس خبرا, it cannot be khabar. It is something which is not khabar. So if you have a masdar which is khabar, cannot be maf'ul al-mutlaq. Okay. For example, if I say darbuka darbun shadidun, yani your strike was a severe strike. Darbuka darbun shadidun. So here, this darb is masdar and is khabar. Cannot be maf'ul mutlaq. If I say fahmuka fahmun daqiqun, this is mubtada, this is a khabar, this is masdar, is khabar. Your understanding is yani deep, daqiq, deep understanding you have. Your understanding is a deep understanding. Yes. No, that cannot be. But if I say fahimtu fahman daqiqan, I understood with a deep understanding. So here fahman is masdar and maf'ul mutlaq. If I say fahimtu fahma zaydin, here's fahm again, it is maf'ul mutlaq. That's why it's mansoob. That's why this one fahman is mansoob and here's mansoob, but it's mudaf ilay. Yani I have understood with the understanding of Zayd, just like Zayd, yani the way Zayd has understood, I have understood it the same way. I have understood it the way Zayd has understood it. Okay. So now, yani that's the first thing, that it cannot be khabar. Okay. Maf'ul mutlaq cannot be khabar. What's the second thing? Mimma dalla ala ta'kidi amilihi or no'ihi or adadihi. And it is something which points to what? It does what? It is something which has to do one of these three jobs. Either it has to emphasize its amil, the thing that acts upon it. You know, in grammar, in nahu, you have an amil, yes, thing that acts upon another word and it gives it and it makes and because of that amil, that particular word has a particular i'rab. Okay, so one of the jobs of maf'ul mutlaq has 3 jobs. One of these jobs can be that it does the ta'keed of its amil. Mimma dalla ala ta'keedi amilihi. It must be from those things which shows the emphasis of its amil. And what is it that acts upon the maf'ul mutlaq and makes it mansoob? It is the fa'il. Sorry, it is the fi'l, the verb. It is the fi'l. So for example here, fahimtu fahman daqiqan. Where is the amil here? The amil here is this one. Fahimtu, fahima, the fi'l. This is the amil which acts upon fahman and makes it mansoob and a maf'ul mutlaq. Okay, so what's trying to say here is that one of the jobs must be of maf'ul mutlaq is to emphasize its amil, is to emphasize its fi'l. Okay, we're going to come to examples of that. And this is a good example. Fahimtu. No, that's not an example of that. But if I just say jalastu julusan, that's an example. Yani I can say jalastu, I sat, and it's over. We say jalastu julusan, I sat a sitting. Yani I certainly sat. So this julus, maf'ul mutlaq, it has come to emphasize the fi'l, its amil, yani for emphasis. And for confirmation that this julus surely happened. Okay, so this is one of the jobs of maf'ul mutlaq. One job of maf'ul mutlaq is that it emphasizes its amil. Its amil, yani the fi'l that comes before it and acts upon it and makes it mansoob. Or it can have another job. أو نوعه يعني مما دل على نوعه, or it is something that shows you the the type of the amil, the type of the fi'l, the type of the action. So we've done 2 examples here of that. These 2, they are both from there. Look here. Fahimtu fahman daqiqan. Doesn't that show you what the kind of understanding you understood? Yani I understood with a deep understanding. So this one here, it has come not to emphasize the fahm, the fi'l, the amil. No, it's come to clarify the type of fahm. Yes. So this is the second job of maf'ul mutlaq. It comes to clarify the type. What is the type of this? What is the type of this amil? What is the type of this action? What type of action is it? What type of fi'l is it? Also here, same thing. I have understood with the understanding of Zayd, yani in the manner that Zayd understood. So again, this has come, this is maf'ul mutlaq. Has it come to emphasize the fahm, the amil? No, it's come to clarify the type of fahm. Okay. أو عدده يعني مما دل على عدده يعني عدده يعني عدد العامل نوعه. Look, تأكيد عامله نوع عامله عدد عامله. So this ha and this ha refers to amil, or it comes to show the adad, the number of that action. How many times did that action happen? And in the amil is the fi'l, yes, and that's where the action is. How many times did it happen? So for example, if I say ضربت زيدا ضربتين. Oh, sorry, let's say make it easier for now. ضربت فعل وفاعل، زيد مفعول به، ضربة مفعول مطلق. Darba means once. That's why it's maf'ul mutlaq mansub. So this darba is come to explain how many times this amil, this fi'l happened. Darabtu Zaydan darbatan. I hit Zayd once. So here in this example, the maf'ul mutlaq, which is darbatan, has come to explain the quantity or the number of times the amil or the fi'l darb happened. Okay, so that's what it is. Huh? So again, quickly, I can say, for example, darabtu darban. I hit with a hitting. Yani, I truly and strongly, yani, I hit with strength, with power. That's what it means. I truly hit. Here, this has come maf'ul mutlaq to basically emphasize the amil. If I say, so this basically means, you can say, darabtu. It's like someone saying, I hit. Darabtu. It's the same meaning, darabtu darban. Emphasis. Yes? Or I can say, darabtu darban shadidan. Here has come to not emphasize the darb, the amil, but it's come to show us the type of darb it is. I hit with a strong, powerful hit. And then if you say, darabtuhu darbatayni, I hit him twice. Yani marratayn. And you can see here darbatayn, it is mansoob because it's muthanna. Muthanna is mansoob with what? With ya. Really, it should be in the marfu form, is darbatani, 2 smacks. But here darbatayni is become maf'ul, is become mansoob. Why is it mansoob? Because maf'ul mutlaq. I hit him twice. So here, the maf'ul mutlaq has come to explain the number, adad. Here, the no. Here, for tawqeed. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to do anwa as well, but we won't do this today. We'll just finish with this, inshallah. So now basically, I've already explained it to you, what he's going to say here. He's basically going to just explain the definition, which I've already done. So we're going to go through it quickly. So when he says, فَقَوْلُنَا لَيْسَ خَبَرًا, so when he says that laysa khabaran cannot be a khabar. Mukhrijun lima kana khabaran min al-masadiri. So our saying, when we say laysa khabaran, mukhrijun, this kicks out whatever is khabar from the masadir, from the mastar. If a mastar is a khabar, then khalas, this doesn't apply. We've kicked it out by saying laysa khabaran. It cannot be a khabar. Nahwu qawlika, for example, you say fahmuka fahmun daqiqun. Your understanding is a deep understanding. So this fahm here, although it's a masdar, but it is khabar. This is mubtada, this is a khabar, and daqiq is sifa, na'at, or fahm. Okay, now that's the first part. Second part is from here. He's going to explain this now. وَقَوْلُنَا مِمَّا دَلَّ إِلَى آخِرِينَ. Our statement, مِمَّا دَلَّ إِلَى آخِرِ, to the end of it, to here. يُفِيدُ, it shows us أَنَّ الْمَفْعُولَ الْمُطْلَقَ ثَلَاثَةُ أَنْوَاعٍ. It shows that the maf'ul mutlaq is 3 types, depending on what job it does. And I've already explained that. Al-awwalu, example, al-mu'akkidu li'amili, something which emphasizes its amil, its fi'l. For example, hafidtu darsa hifdan. Yes? Hafidtu darsa hifdan. Okay? So, basically what you're trying to say is, I thoroughly memorized the dars. I thoroughly did it. You're just emphasizing it. Yes? That it was done in a proper way. It truly happened. Okay? So here, hifdan, it is emphasizing its amil. Also another example, farihtu biqudumika jadalan. Farihtu biqudumika jadalan. Yani, I was happy at your arrival. Jadalan. Yani, with great delight, with great happiness. So this jadalan, it is mu'akkid for this amil, fariha. That's the fi'l. Farihtu biqudumika jadalan. Yani, basically what he's trying to say is, I was overjoyed at your arrival. I was extremely happy when you came. I was truly happy. I was really and truly happy when you came at your arrival. I really and truly memorized the dars. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, so that's the first type. The second type, وَثَانِي الْمُبَيِّنُ لِلنَّوْءِ الْعَامِلِ. The second type of maf'ul mutlaq is that which clarifies the naw of the amil, the type of the amil. Okay, the camera's still working, all right. Don't know what that is then. So the second one is that which clarifies the naw of the amil, the type of the amil. For example, nahwu. We're going to do the i'rab of these two, so please do look at the i'rab of these two. Oh, the pen. Subhanallah, this is why the pen doesn't work. I actually didn't realize. that the pen has to be charged. Jeep. I thought you can just pull it out of there and start using it. Right. Change. Okay, so والثاني المبين للنوع العامل. Thani, the second one, is the one that clarifies what type of amil, what type of action it is. For example, أحببت أستاذي حب الولد أباه. This I'm going to underline because we're going to start the lesson with these two Arabs next week, inshallah. So please take a look at them at home. أحببت أستاذي. I love my teacher, my Ustad. حب الولد أباه. Just like in the way a walad, a child, loves his father. So you see here, this hubba, it has come not to emphasize and to confirm the hub. No. It's come to show us what type of hub, what type of action it is. This action is hub, but what kind is it? I love my teacher. What kind of love is it? It's the love of a son, a child has for his father. And also, for example, وقفت للأستاذ وقوف المؤدب. وقفت للأستاذ, I stood for my teacher. What kind of way did you stand for? In what kind of way did you stand for your teacher? وقوف المؤدب. So this with the standing of someone who is well mannered. So here the wukuf. So here hub, this one hub here, this is maf'ul mutlaq. Also here wukuf is maf'ul mutlaq. Yeah. But this maf'ul mutlaq, did it come to emphasize the amil, which is waqafa? To emphasize it that is really happening, is truly and really happening, or is happening to a certain degree, with a certain intensity? No. It's come to clarify the type of standing. The type of standing, the way I stood for my teacher is a way a well-mannered person stands. Okay. Yes. Same thing. Yes, exactly. Adam. Yes. I just figured it out now. It's strange though, because I don't understand. Like I just put it back in that slot for about 5 seconds, pulled it out, and it's working again. So I'm not sure it's a glitch or what, or it's weird. Okay, and the last one was Al-Mubayyin lil-adadi. It is the maf'ul mutlaq which comes which is mentioned to explain or to clarify the adad, the number of times this action happens. For example, also I want you to look at these two i'rabs. We're going to do 4 i'rabs at the beginning of next lesson, inshallah. These two and these two, okay? For example, darabtul kasula darbataini. I hit the lazy one twice. So here darbatain, this is maf'ul mutlaq. And you can see that it is mansoob, like this one. All the mansoob. Hifdan is mansoob, jadan is mansoob, hubba is mansoob, wuqufa is mansoob, darbatain is mansoob. And this is mansoob because it's muthanna, it's with the ya. Yeah, so here darbatain, to clarify the number of times the darb was twice. وَنَحْوُ ضَرَبْتُ ثَلَاثَ ضَرَبَاتٍ. I hit him thrice. I smacked him 3 times. Yes. Here, this is it. This is the maf'ul mutlaq. They combine this maf'ul mutlaq. Really, is this one here, thalatha. That's and darabat is there just to, yes, as a complementary thing to complement it and complete the meaning. Yes. وَضَرَبْتُهُ ثَلَاثَ ضَرَبَاتٍ. I hit him 3 times. So thalatha here, it is the, you can say, it is the maf'ul mutlaq, which is mentioned to clarify the number of times somebody hit. Now, really wanted to finish this today, but I think we'll stop, because the next part here is the anwa' al-maf'ul mutlaq, the 2 different types of maf'ul mutlaq, which is just a continuation of this, but inshallah we can do it next week. Anyway, ponder over what we've done, revise it, and try to do the i'rab of these 4. Write it out fully in your notebooks. Let's see what you get, and you can compare it to the ones that we do in the beginning of next class, inshallah. All right, so we'll stop that here for the lesson. It's gone off anyway, the camera. So we have a question here. In the example, ma atada illa iyaya. Iyaya is maf'ul bihi. Yes, it can. Yes, it can be mustathna as well. Yes, exactly. Yes, in essence, it is mustathna. It's an exception. Now, exactly. Very good. Yep. MashaAllah. Yep. Sorry. But after the rules of istithna and mustathna and the i'rab after illa, all that inshallah we are going to look at after a few chapters, because that is one of the mansubat. That's why I didn't touch on it now, because already we, a lot of things we discussed today. Inshallah, we will look at that in more detail later on, inshallah. Okay, so we will stop here then, inshallah, and I'll see you on Tuesday, same time. Wallahu, inshallah. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.